Hi everybody, welcome back to this course on internet technologies. I am Vardan and today we'll be studying about security attacks. A security attack refers to any deliberate attempt to breach the security of information systems. These attacks can be categorized based on what aspect of security they compromise. First, there's interruption, which targets availability. Think of a server being taken offline by a DDoS attack. That's an example of interruption. Next is interception, which compromises confidentiality, such as when an attacker secretly listens to your communication or intercepts data packets. This is common in eavesdropping or packet sniffing. The third is modification, which is an attack on integrity. For instance, if someone alters a file or a message during transmission without your knowledge. Lastly, fabrication is something that breaks authenticity, where an attacker injects fake data or messages impersonating a trusted party. And these categories help us understand how deeply an attack can affect a system and what security services we need to prevent them. Passive attacks are like silent observers. The attacker doesn't alter any data or system functionality, they just listen. One common example is eavesdropping, where an attacker captures data flowing through a network, hoping to gather sensitive information like passwords or messages. Another form is traffic analysis, which focus not on the content but on patterns, like who is communicating with whom and how often. Since passive attacks don't disturb the system's behavior, they're very difficult to detect. You might never even realize someone is watching you. The real danger here is a breach of confidentiality, which can lead to serious consequences if the data is stolen or misused. Now, active attacks are much more aggressive than passive ones. Here, the attacker doesn't just observe, they interfere. The most common form is masquerade, where the attacker pretends to be someone else, maybe by stealing login credentials. Replay attacks involve capturing valid data and sending it again to trick a system, for instance, replaying a money transfer request. Modification attacks tamper with legitimate messages. Imagine someone changing your yes to a no in a contract. Then there's denial of service, where an attacker floods a server with traffic to make it unavailable to legitimate users. All these attacks not only affect integrity and authenticity, but they can also shut down entire services if not mitigated in time. Security is not just about keeping the bad guys out, it's about offering guarantees that your communication and data are trustworthy. Confidentiality ensures that only authorized users can access sensitive data. We typically use encryption for this, scrambling the data so that it's meaningless without the right key. Then we have authentication, which verifies who you are. This might be something simple like a password or something more advanced like biometrics or digital certificates. Now, integrity means to protect data from being tampered with. Mechanisms like hash functions generate a fingerprint of the data, so if even one bit is altered, the mismatch becomes obvious. Next is very important, it's called non repudiation. This means once you send a message, you can't deny having sent it. This is crucial in financial systems where people shouldn't be able to backtrack on their commitments. Technologies like digital signatures provide strong evidence of origin. Next is access control, which makes sure users only get access to what they're allowed to. Think like file permissions or firewall rules. Lastly, availability is about making sure that systems and data are always accessible to authorized users. Even if an attacker tries a denial of service attack, strong design and redundancy can help keep things up and running. Together, these services help build a trustworthy and secure communication system. So, the next lecture in this series is about symmetric key cryptography. But before we dive into symmetric key cryptography, it's important to first build a foundational understanding of cryptographic techniques as a whole. These techniques are the backbone of digital security, helping us protect information against the various attacks we've discussed. Let's explore the basic building blocks, how encryption works, who verifies our identities on the internet, and the two major types of cryptography, symmetric and asymmetric. So, first of all, cryptography is the science of securing information by transforming it into a form that's readable without a key. This process begins with an encryption algorithm which takes the original message and scrambles it using a key. The scrambled output, called ciphertext, travels through the network. Only someone with the correct decryption algorithm and key can restore the message back to its original form. This approach prevents unauthorized parties from reading or tampering with the data. Cryptography forms the foundation of security services like confidentiality, authenticity, and integrity. It's everywhere from HTTPS websites to mobile app communications and online banking. In symmetric key cryptography, the same key is used for both encryption and decryption. While it's fast and efficient, key distribution is a major challenge. How do you safely share the key? So that's where asymmetric cryptography helps. It uses a pair of keys, a public key to encrypt data and a private key to decrypt it. You can safely share your public key with anyone, but you hold the private key. To build trust in these keys, we rely on a certificate authority or CA. It acts as a neutral third party, verifying that a public key truly belongs to the person it claims. This system of trusted verification is critical for secure online communication like HTTPS or digital signatures. This diagram here illustrates how this flow works, including how an intruder could try to intercept and why CA matters. So, first, a message and a key enter the encryption algorithm. Then, the ciphertext travels through the channel. This is where the intruder can get hold of a message. Then, the decryption algorithm receives ciphertext and the second key, and it generates the original message. So with that, we've come to the end of this video, and the next lesson will be about symmetric key cryptography. So thank you for joining in, and I'll see you next time.